Welcome to the Department of English, Government Postgraduate College, Attock. These online classes have been started on the instructions of Punjab Higher Education Department, Govt of Punjab, Lahore. The prime purpose of these classes is to help students in continuing their studies and preparation for the final exams. By conducting these classes, the students would benefit from the teaching of their teachers in COVID-19 situation. As you know that all the educational institutions have been closed due to the spread of COVID-19. Hence, online classes are inevitable for the smooth flow of educational activities. That is why the government decided to launch online classes for the betterment of the students. In this regard, we hope and expect that you would pay full attention to these classes and would benefit from them as maximum as possible. We also hope that you would do your best to perform in the exams. For this purpose, our department too started the online classes to help you in preparing yourself for the final exams. I'm Abdul Qayyum from Department of English. Uh, my job is to teach you grammar, that is the paper B portion of the paper, and we have already started the correction of sentences. This is the question of 10 marks in your final paper, in which incorrect sentences are given and you have to correct those incorrect sentences. This question is of prime importance because it can help you in securing more marks, and these marks are very much pertinent and important because exact 10 marks can be got in this question if only 5 sentences are corrected. So I will be sharing the rules and the principles that can help you in correcting the incorrect sentence, and this would not only help you in securing good marks in your graduation, but these rules would also help you in improving your English in general, because the basic purpose of these lectures is to help you in spotting out the most frequent mistakes committed in the usage of English. By knowing these mistakes, you will be able to express yourself in correct English. Hence, it is hoped and expected of you that you would pay full attention to these rules. Further, you are also advised to make notes of these lectures because these would help you later in your preparation for the final exam as well. We have discussed 67 rules of correction so far, in which we have mentioned the different rules through which the incorrect sentences in English can be corrected. Today, we would begin with rule number 68. Use the case of pronoun according to a sentence and the role of a pronoun. You know that there are the three forms and or the cases of a pronoun, that is subjective, objective, and possessive. So we have to look at the demand of a sentence, that whether we have to use here the subjective case, objective case, or possessive case of a pronoun. For example, in this sentence we see, I don't like him going there. Here you see that him has been used as objective case, whereas what we need is here is to use the possessive case of him, that is his. So we would replace him with his. I don't like him going there is an incorrect sentence in English grammar, whereas I don't like his going there is the correct sentence, because here his, the possessive case is the uh, exact use of the pronoun and the case of the pronoun. Similarly, in the next two examples, I don't she presence there. So you see that this doesn't make any sense. Why? Because subjective case of she is not appropriate here. What we need is to use the objective case of she, that is her, and that would make the sentence full of the sense. I don't like her presence there. So that is the correct sentence. Whereas she, subjective case is not suitable here, whereas the objective case, her, is appropriate here. Uh, the third example, he does not like me going in the function. Again, me is the objective case of I, and here uh, objective case is the inappropriate use, whereas we have to use the the possessive case of me, that is my. So he doesn't like my going in the function is the correct expression for this sentence, because here the sentence is demanding for the possessive case of a pronoun, that is my, instead of me, which is an objective case. He does not like me going in the function is incorrect because of using objective case, whereas he does not like my going there in the function is correct because this uses the correct case of the pronoun. Rule number 69, hang is used for living things and hung is used for non-living things. You can say that hang, hung, and hanged are the two uh, different cases, second and third form of hang. So what is the difference is that the second or the third form hanged is used with the living things, whereas with non-living things hung is used. Example number one, the murderer was hung. You see, murderer is the human being, is a living thing here. That's why we would not use hung here, rather we would go for hanged. That is used for the uh, living things. So the murderer was hung is incorrect because of using hung, whereas the murderer was hanged is correct use because hanged is used with the living things. Continuing with the same rule, the next example, the bulb was hanged. The bulb was hanged. The bulb, you see, is a non-living entity, and that's why it would not be followed by hanged. Rather, it would be followed by hung. The bulb was hanged is incorrect because of using hanged with the bulb, which is a non-living thing, whereas the bulb was hung is the correct expression because hung is used for the non-living things. The culprit was hung again is incorrect because hung has been used with this form, which is an incorrect use. What we need is to use the uh, third form of it is hanged instead of hung. Next comes rule number 70, and with none, singular verb or helping verb is used. Usually, if we find in a sentence that none has been used there, what we need to consider is to use the singular verb or helping verb with none, as is the case with neither, either. Similarly, none would also be followed by singular verb or helping verb. Moving to the first example, none of them have done this. So have is used with the plural forms, whereas we have stated in the rule that none is the singular one. That's why it would not be uh, followed by plural helping verb. Rather, it would be followed by singular. And have is the plural, and the singular of have is has. So we have to replace have with has. That would make the sentence correct. None of them has done it is the correct expression because it's followed by the singular helping verb. The rest of the two examples, none of them were serious is again incorrect because were is the plural form, whereas we need to use the first form, that is was. So none of them were serious is the incorrect expression, whereas the correct expression is none of them was serious is the correct expression. The last example, none of them deserve this position. None, is used as singular, and that's why deserve is the plural form, first form without s or es, whereas we have to use the s or es. Why? Because none is followed by singular verbal helping verb, whereas deserve is used as its plural one. Why then does this? We have to treat it as a singular one. That's why none of them deserves this position is the correct expression for this sentence.